Okay, so now we've spent some time using the properties of various quadrilaterals, parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, square. We've used those properties in order to prove triangles. So now in lesson 3, we're going to go the other direction. We're going to be given a quadrilateral that has triangles in it. We're going to prove that the triangles are congruent in order to take their parts. And then we're going to try and actually prove that the quadrilateral is a parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, square. Now, the way that we do this is it's laid out right here for you. These are the ways that you can prove that a quadrilateral is these things. So if you want to prove that something is a parallelogram, you choose one of these 4 ways. You do not have to do all 4. You have to just do one of them. You can ignore these letters that are inside parentheses. That's something for maybe a little bit later in the year. That's not important right this moment. So if you want to prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, you do one of the following. You show that both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. You show that both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. You can show that only one pair of opposite sides are both congruent and parallel, or you can show that diagonals bisect each other. Now, you would show that diagonals bisect each other by showing that their halves are congruent. So, like you would show that each part is congruent, and then you would say, so therefore it must have been bisected. I can show you that cycle another time. But so do one of these things to prove that it's a parallelogram. Now, if you want to prove that something is a rectangle, first you have to prove it's a parallelogram. You can't just do one of these. You have to prove it's a parallelogram. Then you would say either the diagonals are congruent or it has one right angle. You don't have to show 4 right angles, only one right angle. That will prove that it's a rectangle. If you want to prove it's a rhombus, you prove it's a parallelogram first, then you can prove that one pair of consecutive sides are congruent. Remember, consecutive means in a row. So you've got opposite sides and you have consecutive sides. Consecutive sides are the ones next to each other, whereas opposites are like on opposite sides. So if this was a rectangle right here, these would be consecutive sides, this one and this one, whereas opposite sides would be across from each other. Or you can prove that the diagonals are perpendicular. You prove that they're perpendicular by showing that there is a right angle there. And then finally, if you want to prove that something is a square, you prove it's a parallelogram, you prove it's a rectangle, and you prove it's a rhombus. That makes it a square. All right, so those ones are the hardest because you have to do the most amount of work. So remember, just one more time, because students do this all the time, you only have to do one of these. You don't have to do all 4 of them. Okay, so all right. Let's look at this. We're not going to do an actual proof here because I don't think you have enough room, but let's talk about how we would do this. So what are we given? I've got a quadrilateral here, and I know that PE bisects HL. Okay, so I've got this right here, and I know that angle MPL, that's this one right here, is congruent to angle MEH. That's this one right here. So let's just kind of talk through this, okay? Right away, what I see is that because I have, these are alternate interior angles right here for this side, LP, and this side right here. So if I were to structure this proof, what I might do is I might go, okay, well, I've got this angle congruent to that one. That proves, because alternate interior angles are congruent, that proves that HE is parallel to LP. Okay, but that's not enough to prove. If I know that 2 sides are parallel, according to my methods of proof, I either have to prove that the other set is also parallel. This says both pairs of opposite sides parallel, or I could say that they're congruent. Then I would have one pair congruent and parallel. Okay, well, let's take a look here. I can prove, since I've got vertical angles right here, I can prove that this triangle is congruent to this one. So that would be HEM congruent to PLM. I can prove that this triangle is congruent to this one by angle, angle, side, which then tells me by CPCTC, I can say that HE is also congruent to LP by CPCTC because this triangle is congruent to that one. So now I have a pair of opposite sides, parallel and congruent. That's enough to say that this is a parallelogram. Now, is that the only way that we could have done this? No, I think we probably could have done this a totally different way. But this is one way that we could have done this, and it shows you sort of the thought process on how we were to go about doing that. Now, in terms of the actual cycles, I want you to look at my answer key slowly, and that will give you a sense of what these cycles are supposed to look like. But now you've got the requirements to prove are right here, and then you've got an idea of what a proof might look like for doing just that.